The Toyota Tundra is hiding 8 features that 99% of owners never find, permanently built into the windshield glass, the tail lamp housing, and the center console of every truck rolling off the production line. If you've been driving a Tundra for years and feel like you already know this truck inside and out, what's buried in this pickup is going to make you realize you've barely scratched the surface. Most people see the Tundra as a capable, straightforward workhorse, but Toyota has been encoding secret messages into the windshield glass, concealing release buttons inside tail lamps, and engineering a rear window so unusual it required its own US patent. Number 8. Hidden windshield communication. Running along the bottom edge of the passenger side windshield, the ceramic frit, that black border surrounding the glass, is going to surprise anyone who looks closely enough. What registers as standard industrial texture is a sequence of dots and dashes, fired permanently into the frit material during the tempering process. When decoded, those markings spell out "badass trucks." The symbols had to maintain the same opacity and thermal properties as the surrounding frit. Any deviation creates stress points in the structural glass. That level of coordination wasn't accidental. It connects to what Toyota calls its Konami Code design philosophy, embedding the truck's character into its physical structure rather than its badge. Competitors are putting their identity on grills. Toyota is writing it into the glass. But most owners are even less likely to inspect the panels inside their engine bay, where Toyota has been leaving a permanent record of something far more personal. Number 7. Underhood Easter eggs. Pop the hood on the 2027 Tundra and the engine bay is telling a story that's been sitting there the entire time. On the driver's side plastic shrouding, a permanent stamped impression of the state of Texas carries the word "Born" embossed directly over the outline. On the passenger side, Michigan appears, marked with the letters R&D, 2 states, 2 roles, 1 complete industrial biography of this truck. The Texas stamp documents the San Antonio manufacturing facility, Toyota Motor Manufacturing, Texas, where every Tundra has been produced since 2006. The Michigan stamp points to the Toyota Technical Center in Ann Arbor, where the engineering work took shape. Toyota used the shrouding surface to record something permanent, visible every time an owner lifts the hood for a routine check. The "Built Here, Lives Here" story isn't just a marketing line on this truck. It's pressed into the components. Those stamps are easy to find once you know where to look, but the next feature is engineered to stay hidden, and it changes the way this truck gets used every single day. Number 6. Secondary tailgate release button. Picture a moment working truck owners know well, walking back to the vehicle with both hands full of equipment and still needing to drop the tailgate. Reaching for the central handle means putting something down. Digging for the fob means shifting everything around. That situation repeats on any active work site, and until now, there was no clean answer. The lamp button is Toyota's solution. Tucked into the black plastic housing of the tail lamp unit, a single tap with a finger or elbow triggers the tailgate release. No handle, no fob required. Security runs through proximity logic, activating only when an authorized smart key is detected within approximately 1 meter of the rear sensors. Once confirmed, the ECU releases the latch, lowers the gate, and, on models with a power bed step, deploys the step simultaneously. On Platinum, 1794, and Capstone grades, this is coming standard, a fundamental redesign of how the cargo area gets accessed. Number 5. Holographic kinetic bedside decals. At first glance, the 4x4 badges on the Tundra's bedside register as standard decals. Shift the angle or catch them in direct light and something changes. Tiny silhouettes of trucks appear inside the numerals, seeming to move as the viewing angle shifts. The effect comes from 3D hot embossing, a process that creates microscopic ridges across the vinyl surface. Those ridges diffract light differently depending on the viewer's position, generating a kinetic visual illusion that cannot be photographed, only experienced in person. A clear coat laminate protects the holographic layer from UV exposure, debris, and high pressure washes over the full life of the vehicle. Because the pattern is nearly impossible for third-party manufacturers to replicate with the same precision, these decals also function as a quiet verification marker for the truck's original factory finish. The bedside badges are impossible to miss once you know what they are, but the next detail has been sitting inside the cab the whole time, and most owners reach right past it without realizing it's there. Number 4. Internal architectural silhouettes. Pull out the rubberized liner in the Tundra's center console storage well, or lift the modular dividers, and you're going to find something most owners never discover: embossed silhouettes of Toyota's entire body-on-frame lineup. The Tundra, Tacoma, Sequoia, and 4Runner are all mapped into the interior plastic, hidden in areas that only surface during deep cleanouts or storage reconfigurations. These aren't stickers. The icons are built directly into the injection molds, sharp, consistent, and present on every production unit. The embossed profiles also serve as subtle tactile grip points for removing console sections during maintenance, function, and storytelling, sharing the same space. Placing a Tacoma silhouette inside a Tundra cabin is deliberate. Toyota is signaling that every body-on-frame owner, regardless of model, belongs to the same lineage. Number 3. Knee Lift Assist. No button, no fob, just a knee nudge, and the Tundra's power tailgate closes itself. When the gate is fully lowered, a slight upward push with the knee, just a few centimeters, triggers the dual electric actuators to complete the closing and latching sequence. The mechanism runs on high-resolution torque sensors in the tailgate motor units, programmed to recognize an intentional lift and filter out accidental contact or resting loads. The jam protection routine runs simultaneously, any unexpected resistance, and the gate reverses immediately. This is standard on the SR5 and above, treated as a core utility tool that can be toggled off through the multi-information display. The knee assist solves a problem at ground level, but above the roofline, the Tundra is hiding a second stage that even owners with a panoramic moonroof have never triggered. Number 2. Dual Stage Sunroof Expansion. The Tundra's optional panoramic moonroof operates in 2 distinct stages, and most owners only ever discover the first one. Anyone who has opened a large sunroof at highway speed knows what comes next. Air pulses into the cabin in a rhythmic thudding pattern, making conversation difficult and forcing the roof closed within minutes. It's one of the most common frustrations with panoramic glass on large vehicles. Press the button once and the glass retracts to a position that eliminates that problem entirely. An aerodynamic equilibrium point where airflow stays laminar across the opening. That's the driving position. Press it a second time after the panel stops and the glass disappears further into the rear structure. The stage is intended for low speed or stationary use, where open air exposure matters more than acoustics. Hall effect sensors track the glass throughout both stages. The result is a moonroof functioning as 2 distinct tools inside one piece of glass. 2 stages of the same roof are impressive, but it has nothing on what this truck is doing with its rear glass, a feature so unusual that Toyota had to patent it and competitors still haven't matched. Number 1. Vertical Power Rear Window. Every full-size truck has rear glass. Only the Tundra Crewmax has glass that drops completely into the wall of the cab. There's a situation every pickup owner eventually faces: material too long for the bed that won't fit inside a closed cab, lumber a few feet over, pipe that needs to run from the tailgate forward. At that point, most owners are renting a trailer or making 2 trips because the back wall of the cab is a fixed barrier. On the Tundra Crewmax, that wall opens entirely. The full rear window, 12.2 square feet of glass, retracts vertically into the rear bulkhead at the press of a button, protected under U.S. Patent 7,823,963b2, which covers the mechanical linkage and structural reinforcement required to make this work without compromising crash ratings or frame integrity. When the rear window drops alongside the side windows and the panoramic moonroof, the cabin generates a continuous low-pressure zone at the rear, drawing stale air out and replacing it steadily, quieter than air conditioning in moderate climates. Lumber, pipe, and kayaks can now extend from the bed through the cab. Slide-in camper users gain a true pass-through between driving and living quarters. Replacement requires 8 bolts, no sealants, no specialists. No other manufacturer is doing this. And it's the reason Tundra owners tend to stay Tundra owners. What makes the 2027 Toyota Tundra genuinely different isn't any single feature on this list. It's the pattern behind all of them. Morse code fired into structural glass, a patented rear window no competitor is replicating, torque sensors reading a knee nudge, holographic decals built from light physics, and a tailgate button hiding inside a tail lamp. None of these details had to exist. Toyota put them there anyway, quietly, permanently, without advertising any of them. That's the real story of this truck. A team that encodes a secret message into windshield glass isn't cutting corners anywhere else. The Tundra's hidden features are amazing, but this isn't the only Toyota loaded with Easter eggs. Other models in the lineup have them too, including the Tacoma, which you can check out in our next video. This midsizer isn't just famous for its reliability and off-road capability, but for numerous hidden secrets as well.